Hello there everyone and welcome back. Those 2 weeks felt like an eternity when you consider the fact that the Imperial Navy and all the other factions I've done my focus on have only been a week long. It definitely feels like it's time for a change of pace, and what better way than with the mindless, reckless fun of the Orks. We're going to be going to the other end of the spectrum, arguably where Necron, at least normally, don't want to get in close until they're ready to do the killing blow with their lightning links and other abilities. Orks want to get in your face more often than not, and they have horrible accuracy to kind of encourage such a playstyle. So I'm eager to have some fun with them. Although I'm going to start off with back to my trusty old commandos to keep myself hidden and possibly allow me to get in close. I am going to mix up for the other upcoming videos as well. I'm thinking of trying out the Evil Suns with like a battleship and the new Fate upgrade there that makes their big red button and turning speed a little bit better. And I think for my final video I'm going to experiment with like a boarding heavy build. Not quite sure. I haven't built the fleet just yet, mind you, so I don't know if it's going to be to my liking either way. But nonetheless, I am incredibly biased towards the mega cannons that these Orks ships I'm going to be bringing are going to utilize. Mind you, a lot of the upgrades kind of encourage heavy boarding, but in this case, lots of mega cannons and practically, 70% chance? Yeah, 72% chance if I have lock-on active. Never mind the fact that it extends the range. Even if the accuracy on here is horrible, keep in mind, if I'm shooting a battleship or anything gigantic, I'm still going to have a respectable chance of hitting them as I charge in there. And depending on the circumstances, if I boost in there at the right time, I'm easily going to cross the distance from 9,000 units to melee, so I don't think I'm worried too much. Although, with the bug, the glitch, whatever you want to call it there, that makes these 3 cannon abilities kind of visible to... Yeah, it was even on my stream there, was kind of pointed out that my opponent can see where my flagship's hidden, even with the commando train with these 3 abilities. So until that gets fixed, unless it's kind of needed for balance sake, because I feel like the tractor cannon is outrageous, especially against the Eldari, due to its ability to just completely negate the Wraithbone shift entirely. But either way, I am not going to relegate to using any of these abilities, at least with the Blood Axes, since I rely heavily on that Shroud mechanic. But the other upgrades are a little bit limited, but we're going to emphasize our extra damage and stasis bombs to kind of help keep them in place if I'm lucky enough. But let's get this started. It's a brand new week. Alright, Space Marines. This may be the one matchup that I'm terrified of potentially the most, due to the sheer boarding potential of the Space Marines on top of the fact that they have the 83 armor all around. And with the capture mechanic change, they're encouraged to have lots of battle barges, but at the same time, they are vulnerable still to critical hits. This is not Armada 1, where they have their 75% chance or even 100% chance of deflecting my mega cannons. This is a different game entirely, so at least that way I still have my 70% chance to get a critical hit. So if I can prioritize the proper components, which I don't know if I should go for the engines for said battle barge or not. Or if I want to deny the bombardment cannons. I'm really unsure what my focus should be on. Actually, let me group up here too, that might be helpful. Otherwise, the strategy should be straightforward. It's a question on how do I go about capturing objectives, mind you, since my frigates are no longer good at that. And I want them to kind of move forward. Rocks could do decent, but I'd rather them be in the middle of the map and draw fire, if I were to be so honest, so maybe I can compromise a bit. If only a little bit. Have the cruisers a little bit here. Actually, I don't really know how I should deploy my fleet, mind you, in all seriousness. I want to rely on the element of stealth, but at the same time, gaining the objectives for the early momentum is key as well. But I'm going to expect that there's going to be company up there. And I forgot to set myself to Do Not Disturb there. A little infuriating, a little annoying, but we'll have to deal with it for this. Otherwise, hopefully, these can grab the point there. These guys, even though I placed myself poorly for the one Basha, will move to the middle of the map, and if possible, I only need 1 frigate to grab that point, since it's out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, vanguards, huh? This will be interesting. It's possible they could be hiding in the asteroid belt, mind you, but where do I want to situate myself as far as objectives? The rocks are kind of vulnerable to boarding, with that said. And also I want to spread out so that way said rocks can also get past the frigates. It's going to take a while to capture the objective, mind you, but I have fighters on 3 of these cruisers to at least deal with potential boarding torpedoes. I just got to be aware of what's going to get spotted, which, honestly, if I can have my way, it's going to be the rocks getting spotted. And also, I got to make a note of holding fire with these cruisers. Since it might give away their positioning some, well, actually, that may not be a big deal, since I don't know where they're at anyway, so I want to have means to fire as soon as possible.
You got it.
And they are vanguard, so I don't want to spread out too much, but I do want to secure my position quite well at the same time.
What you want?
I'm wondering if I should hold all these ships back here. Potentially, and just leave one rock to kind of draw attention. It's going to be an odd game of cat and mouse, trying to figure out where their vanguards are. I don't want to go too ridiculous, because if all the vanguards are back here, then I'm leaving myself vulnerable. Okay, I can rest easy now. Decide, let's see, so 5 cruisers. Alright, that changes the strategy some. A little bit at least.
What you want? We's ready.
And I think I'm going to have this rock go over here. These ones grab this objective. And have the rock ready to grab the point, since this is going to take a while for that frigate to grab anyway. With 5 strike cruisers though, that's a lot of boarding damage. I am not oblivious to that one bit. And normally if they're strike cruisers, they have boarding torpedoes. Thankfully I am somewhat prepared for that. It's just a question if there's any fighters to complicate that. And this is what I get for getting a little bit too close, but if I could kill him quickly, this is good. Probably not. So where are the boarding torpedoes going? I'm watching for boarding torpedoes. Well, I mean, I'm shooting them down really well. None of the boarding torpedoes of the frigates actually did crap, mind you, so that's a plus. And with the new change that they made to the fighters, I'm actually able to start the cooldown on my fighters even while they're active currently. That was a hotfix they just did. Alright. I'll bite. I could have launched a stasis bomb to help give me time. Can I boost? No, I can't. But I am going to dodge these really well due to the tight arc. Just look at the fighters shoot down these things too. And what I learned with the Crude War Spear, this can dodge these relatively well. Not perfectly due to not having like the all-head full function like with the Crude War Spear, but still, it effectively dodged. Now, let's prioritize engines. Torpedoes are a pain in the ass, but since they're strike cruisers, screwing them over is a lot more fun. And I do have the cold arms to help some here, even though I technically don't have fighters. Well, this is a little bit of an odd set rate of fire. It's just a shame my Mega Cannon had to get destroyed, but okay. This might be a pretty simple start, but it helps if I focus my targets accordingly too. And save the plasma bomb if anything gets stuck. Engine's gone on that one ship. Plasma bomb I could deal with since the shields haven't been destroyed, mind you, so that mitigates so much of that damage potential. And that's going to be dead really damn quickly, so I'm not too worried. And you're just going to tank the damage. At least for now. It feels a lot better than having to rely on the cooldown there, but of the fighters being locked. But at the same time, Necrons suffered heavily because I couldn't get access to my cold arms with all the time I spent. So that's going to deal with morale. Focus all your boring torpedoes. Actually, we can hit 2 targets at once with my heavy cans on the side. Let's just not go too ridiculous since I still need to kill this thing. And you're probably going to burn to death, alas. Yes, all the critical hits with lock-on. I really am tempted to reload, but it's so much fun to screw him over with 70% critical hit chance. Actually, now's the chance to do that. How much health is left on this thing since it's... Oh, well, that answers my question. It immediately died as soon as I was curious about that. Now, let's get our rocks in there. You recently used your rally, so... My opponent's not have the best luck with the boring torpedoes hitting his own ships, mind you, but... At least with my broadside heavy cans, I can still do a good amount of damage as I fly past them. Let's just not hit ourselves, especially with this group order, please.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
So that rock's burnt to death. No surprise there. I kind of expect that to an extent, but this is looking promising.
You have seized a
Let me get my
strategic
Savage up here now, since it's kind of missing the party. Ooh, my own Savages could deal with those. Let's have ourselves a good old frigate fight here. The extra range is probably warranted. More boring torpedoes. Can I get some more fighters? Yep, I have full fighter squadrons. Never mind the fact that apparently all the boring torpedoes just got shot down, so... Only thing I need to do is focus on a proper target. And with engines permanently gone, this should almost die immediately.
You have accumulated 50% of strategic points.
And I gotta remember, as annoying as it is, the engagement angle is set onto the broadside, not the prow. That's another thing I may have neglected. And it requires a lot of preparation beforehand, I suppose, with Orks. Since, as I mentioned, it makes me not optimal if I want to do damage to my opponents, especially with the Mega Cans. Either way, I was a little bit worried about boring torpedoes, especially longer range. In theory, though, it should not be a big deal with at least 5 fighter squadrons. It's if there's a Vanguard or a battle barge that can launch fighters ahead of the torpedoes, that will be a little more problematic. But with strike cruisers, if I can actually see the torpedoes ahead of time and aim my fighters accordingly, then I don't think I have much issue to worry about them, at least at long range. The one Space Marine battle I did have way back when I was doing a quick preview of the Orks, I checked twice for those boring torpedoes and they caught me completely off guard and made things a little bit awkward. Needless to say. Alright, more Space Marines. We'll see how this goes, because I'm really worried about a battle barge and that can make things complicated. But again, since its speed is similar to mine outside the all-head full, once I start getting critical hits on that thing, it should hopefully start falling apart. But then again, they're battleships. Likely 2 of them is the possibility I'm always expecting. Since in all seriousness, why not? The light cruisers are a little bit lackluster in their objective gathering, especially, I would argue anyway, so there's not much reason for the Vanguard fleet anymore, kind of like how I described with my Shroud fleet with Necrons, that it's kind of not as practical anymore to kind of backdoor and steal a bunch of objectives and wait for them to spread out. You kind of need to be a little bit more aggressive for that to work. And I gotta remember this thing, what is it, engagement angle, and if I remember correctly, the range on these things I talked about, keeping them hitting. I just gotta remember to turn off is the big thing, or at least turn the hold fire. Oh, turn on the weapons. And we have 3 objectives in the middle. I think I can sort of forfeit the objective on the left for now. And otherwise, I'm confident my fighters could deal with the boring torpedoes incredibly well. It's just a matter of seeing them ahead of time. And I don't want to get my entire fleet spotted by dang scanner pulse as well, ideally, but due to the short range nature of my opponent, that's not a big deal. But then the question becomes, what's the point of my commandos then if I'm not going to try and get the jump on them? A lot of uncertainties that I need to really think on.
You got it, boss.
Nonetheless, let's get going. And let's see, 4 ships. I'm gonna have to pay attention to speed difference to know if there's a battleship in this mix. They're spread enough that I can make it a little bit tricky. Oh, we got 2 hunters there. Well, not hunters, but novas, I guess. So they're gonna be a pain since they're incredibly durable, 400 health, and they basically the fastest frigate almost in the game when you consider it all head full. But speed-wise, you're slowing down, but you're also going at a bit of an angle, I think. And I wonder what this other one is. I am seriously curious what the fleet were to expect here. I'm not seeing any fighters just yet. Is it possible that they're a different variant of strike cruisers that will, what is it, with the Thunderhawks that make them more expensive? All I know is, yeah, they're going the same speed, they're going the same speed, so I think that's what's going on, maybe. They're the Mark I variants of the strike cruisers, perhaps? That's right, I'm being sneaky. Unconventional orc tactics.
Faster, you grots.
Maybe I didn't make an army. Maybe I didn't make a fleet at all. Did you consider that? Maybe I just... maybe the orcs just went home and are already invading this planet over here that you kind of failed to defend. Who the hell knows? But at the same time...
Move that
I want to...
Retro's on.
Strategic area.
Don't worry, there'll still be combat soon enough.
Wings ready.
I'm just still curious what it is we're up against, though.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Now,
Fire bombers.
I might as well launch my fires now because I'm expecting some kind of retaliation. It may have given away where my cruisers are, but at the same time, they're going to be drawn to where the rocks are anyway.
You got it.
You have seized a strategic area.
Let's see, hold fires on. I had to double check that to be sure.
Here we go.
And we do have fighters in least defending these. Oh, so you have a battle barge. So that probably means the other 3 are strike cruisers then, if I had to guess.
What you want?
I could take the hits at long range easily enough. Gotta be mindful of the boring torpedoes though.
Yeah?
Since I'm not seeing lances, I see the bombardment cannons.
Over here. You got it.
Here comes said boring torpedoes, as we talked about. And I'm afraid my fighters are gonna expire with their 90-second patrol before the boring torpedoes even get here. I'm a little bit paranoid of that.
Enemy ship
I think I want to
spotted.
destroy weapons on that thing.
Orks is best.
Maybe make it to focus.
Full speed.
And I think the rock can dodge these incredibly well. I'm just a little bit late. Oh no.
Yeah?
Actually, it worked out well enough.
The fire's over here.
And the fighters are already there ahead of time. Although, your Thunderhawks are a little bit late to the party, I'm afraid. Or Stormhawks, rather.
Boss. Hit the red button.
I did get some boring, but I can mitigate that some. Just making sure to do the damage that's necessary right now. This is the big thing. And if you're gonna run from me, then maybe I can do a bait and switch. Kind of unlikely, but if you're gonna run from me,
What you want?
I could get the 3 objectives. Can I at least hide myself in any means at all? Because now my fleet's a little bit too cramped together for me to reload, unless I boost with everything.
Here we go.
And I do have engines prioritized, yes I do.
You have seized a strategic
So I don't think
area.
I'm going to boost with everything, but I'm at least going to draw a lot of their ire.
Fire bombers. Begin
And ideally have these rocks, well,
You
there's
have
more
seized
boring
a
torpedoes to
strategic
expect.
area.
You killed the crew immediately, you jerk. That wasn't very nice.
You got it, boss.
Now, I was thinking maybe not boosting with everything, but if they're gonna panic, that's kind of nice. Nope, I'm gonna ram my own ship. No, not happening.
One. Time to stop them. Wings ready.
So we'll recall those.
Here we go.
I was kind of hoping to maybe do the damage necessary, but they're still prioritized on the engines. So it's not terrible yet.
You got it, boss.
Maybe try... Well,
We won.
if I could kill off some of these ships, that'd be good, but I think it's time to go to reload stance. One hit's all I need, really, but I don't think I'm gonna get it now.
Good, boss. The fight is over here.
This is part of the reason why I don't like to try and boost with single individuals to still encourage a panic response.
Move that junk.
And that rock will be good for now. I just gotta regenerate the crew and maybe repair. 16 seconds, alas.
You got it.
And I have 3 objectives, I just need to actually kill an engine component for it to really matter, to at least force the issue.
Got it.
And crew is dying again. So many fire assaults. Emergency repairs so close to coming online.
Over there. The fight is over here.
There.
You want us over there?
Chase after him. Yeah, they're grabbing the point, but... Boring torpedoes, can we deal with those? Yes, we can. Sort of.
Yeah.
Just keep everything going. That'll burn out a lot of the uses of the strike cruisers, if I can dodge them. Which it looks like I'm going to be able to really well. I just need those engine critical hits, which if I knew a battle barge was going to run from me so much, I would be trying. Well, let's see, I have reload, that'll help some. I'm just going to miss out on my critical hit chance some.
Orks is best.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Move that junk.
Now recall everything for good measure.
You got it. Reloading.
And what was just fired? More boring torpedoes.
Over there.
So I gotta watch where those boring torpedoes are going, since I don't have my extended range anymore.
Orks.
And I'm not in range apparently anyway.
Dagger, dagger, dagger.
I talked about my... I talked about holding fire again. This commentary is gonna be the death of me in this match, I suppose.
Drugs.
That explains why everything's taken so long to kill, but hey. I'm gonna have my 3 objectives here.
Ready.
You're gonna get repairs, you're gonna boost.
You have seized a strategic.
Yeah, let's have some fun here. Let the real games begin.
25% of strategic points.
We's ready.
We'll see about really making this work now. That is my own dumb stupidity, mind you, but we'll see about correcting this wrong. It is kind of important to keep my ships hitting, mind you, but at the same time, if I'm going to keep forgetting about it due to my commentary, it's best not to even try to silent run and keep myself sneaky. There, you got your crew all together there. We got all guns on set up.
You got it.
Yeah, and those hitting ships, they are slowly killing off the crew. Let's be cautious of that. But I do have the objectives, mind you.
Got it, boss.
So I'm not too worried yet. Let's just keep an eye. Your engines are gone. So you're relegated to kind of guard duty, I suppose. And I rammed my own rock for good measure.
Orks is best.
And there's no way this is going to do damage? No, not quite.
You got it. Enemy ship sighted.
And I have no fire bays at all on this. Okay, I do, but apparently I didn't select that.
We won. Fire bombers.
Can I get the bombers in time? Kill off the bombers and we'll be golden.
Orks is best.
No, stop slowing me down, you cursed
Here we
thing.
go. We's ready. Move that
Now,
junk.
I can ram these things good. Get a crap ton of damage in.
Reloading.
While you're not paying attention, although your bombardment can is currently gone, so I'm okay with that. Why aren't you moving? I know your engines is damaged, but you shouldn't be stopping just because, I'm afraid to say. That's not good use of
Drugs.
your abilities.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can keep grabbing these points.
Orks.
flagship here is going to be important for the middle of the... for later on, but... we are getting a little bit spread out now.
You want us over there?
Crew's gone there, that'll need to be
The
managed
enemy
some.
is seizing one of your strategic areas.
What do you want?
Any boarding damage is going to easily kill those off, but trying to control... Alright,
Wings ready.
let's hide the ships and minimize the damage we're taking here.
Hit the red button.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
If only can I get an opportunity to maybe grab the objective on the left? Or actually, I can grab the objective on the right here.
You got it.
I can force that back some. We have some ships here to kind of tank some of the hits, and most of the boring torpedoes are all spent at this point.
Another day.
I don't know about the assault actions and lightning strikes, though, if I were to be honest.
An escort ship went bang bang, boss. Yeah.
Let's see.
Orks is
And
best.
you can go after the strike cruiser for now.
Faster, you crots.
Terrify him immensely. Ideally destroy the engine, if that would be so possible.
Let's on.
And you only have a single fighter squadron. Maybe you kill off a few of those. Ooh, you got some nice critical hits there, you lucky bugger.
You want us over there?
But, let's see. Repair the mega guns. Get lock on available, and let's fix this wrong.
What you want? Move that junk.
Alright. If you want to do that, by all means, let's get the rocks going
You got it, boss.
for good measure. I gotta remember to have this ship available for the rally potential.
Accumulated 50% of strategic points.
And your engine's been completely destroyed, sadly.
Good boss.
Give me the critical hits I need. Since you're standing still there, I will fine with that.
The fight is over here.
See if we can... well, boarding's not going to be very useful, but in your face is still pretty good.
Orks. Fire bombers.
And deal with those bombers, those assault boats as well. Limit their effectiveness quite a bit.
You got it, boss. What you want?
Well, I didn't need the brace for impact, but I'll take it nonetheless. And you are really close to death. The mega cannons are doing work on you right now.
Fire bombers.
Still no damage on the engines just yet, alas.
Orks. The fight is over here.
Let's see. I just repaired, and apparently that did not do anything for my mega guns, which is annoying. I would have liked that, but it did fix the deck, I suppose.
The enemy ship. You got it.
Ram it, murder it, board it. Do what you have to do, I guess.
We stumped the enemy ship.
The enemy has accumulated 50%.
See about crippling them some more. Deck's gone.
Let boys get some manipulation kicks.
Well, thanks for helping solve the morale problem some. If only slightly. Now, we got the 3 points there. We still have the lead.
Ready.
Can anything I could do about this circumstance? I have plasma bombs.
You make the boss of me. Retro's on.
Now take the full fury of this plasma bomb, ideally.
That junk.
And I gotta remember you have broadside heavy guns to utilize. Well, it's not quite the full salvo, but I'll take it.
Here we go. Hold on to something.
Let's see.
Move that
You are refusing to move for me for some... or you're not turning the direction I want, and I don't know why.
Not that one. He's ready.
Otherwise, that did notable damage. I'll have another plasma bomb shortly.
You want us over there?
And sadly, that hit hard. A little bit too slow to notice.
Here we go.
And this is starting to fall apart now. I don't have the crew to kind of manage everything. Alas. Being too spread out and forgetting to turn off my hold fire cost me immensely.
Fight is over here.
since that could have done a massive amount of damage to one of these strike cruisers early on. So it's my own dumb fault. I'm willing to admit that at least. But at the same time, I kind of need to hold fire if I'm going to take advantage of the commandos as well. It's kind of warranted, but I still have plasma bombs. The crew's going to die quickly though, is the only downside here. And you have really nothing to offer me there, lass.
You got it, boss. Orks, orks, orks.
It was looking promising there, but it's not quite done yet. I say that, but I don't have anything to help as far as speeding up repairs. I do have a plasma bomb still, but I also have shields to deal with.
Strategic areas.
Orks is best. We're getting shot up.
Yeah, I knew the plasma bomb was not going to do much, but
Seizing one of your strategic areas.
come on, this is a perfect opportunity to shoot at that thing, and you're not going to do it for me, are you? And you don't even have any weaponry to note.
Here we go.
This is what I get for trying to trust my frigates, I suppose.
The enemy has seized a strategic
It might still
area.
kill off that one cruiser, but this is over. Alas.
Faster, you grots.
That's a shame there.
That ship's got holes in it.
A rough start. My own stupidity cost me there.
Another day.
Since how many shots that could that have been on the strike cruiser if I didn't have the hold fire? I dealt with the boarding really good early on, but it was a lost opportunity as far as doing damage, because that could have been 2 less strike cruisers for at least that portion right there. Never mind what. The 300, 350 points, that probably would have got me really close to victory as well.